Hey, everybody. This is Michelle again. I actually recorded this video the same day I recorded that other one, Friend or Foe. But I just wanted to um, do another one later and then upload it whenever. Because I'm gonna be really busy and I gotta clear out some of this memory in the phone. I got too many things going on in this phone and it's driving me insane. Um, but anyway, to start out, yeah, this is the first year. Also, I hadn't taken anything for my sinuses since I'm not working right now. Um, or working right now, but since I retired, I didn't take anything this year. Um, to see how I would do without taking stuff, for the sinuses and all this stuff going on. So, um, oh gee, okay, yeah. So it's I'm a little irritated, like throat is scratching a little bit, skin is itchy, but I'm getting through it, and some headaches every now and then. So excuse me if I start sniffling and carrying on. But so I just want to come up and upload this about and talk about contemplation. How I'm contemplating things since I retired, and talk about some of the things that I'm discovering. That I'm discovering since I retired that are surprising me quite a bit, and how people um, were giving me the perception they were handling things, and when it turned out they were not, and how people are just lying all over the place about stuff, and I just didn't understand why they had to do that, but that's what's happening. And also thinking about my extended family and how things are going with them is just not good. That doesn't look good. Hopefully it turns out well. So contemplation, you know, I have my version of it. I'm not gonna give a definition. I'm just gonna call it contemplation because if you want it, you can look it up. But I give my own definition to things usually. But since before I retired, let me be real honest with you. Um, I think I was drained of every ounce of willingness to help people that I had. I felt like that I was just completely drained of people. I mean, of assisting people. You know what I mean? Because it always, I mean, I just felt like people don't consider so much service people. When people service them, and whether it's a public safety or just getting a cup of coffee, and how everybody is just draining service people of every ounce of willingness to help them. In other words, they are draining them of their willingness to help them, to where people are just getting completely overwhelmed, right? Completely, um, because like for me, when I had that uniform on, it's like I couldn't go nowhere without people wanting to stop me and ask me a question or something. I could not. I couldn't go to the bathroom. That's why I always would go to the bathroom at the substations real quick. At the substations, just to avoid people constantly coming up to me and asking me questions about something. And the thing, and the answers would have been so simple for them to look into their phone and use their Google Maps or their GPS, because it usually was like questions about where to get to someplace. Where and I will and I said, well, just type it in your phone, and that was so difficult for a lot of people to do that. Just to tap stuff in their phone and then get on your way. Why are you stopping and then they would say, well, you're supposed to know that, all this crap. It was just getting so draining of me, you know where people just wouldn't leave me alone. I could be on the scene of a major event, working, say major traffic crash or something, and people just will get out of their vehicles and walk over to me and ask me directions to some Disney. Usually it was somewhere in Disney. Now I'm working a major traffic scene here where people were injured, and these people will walk up to me and say, "Okay, how do I get to Disney?" and all this, you know. So it just got too much. It's just getting too much where people are abusing these type of service providers. Okay, and that's another reason why when I was with my previous job, we had to bring the union in and help us resolve some of these grievances we were having. Because I mean, I understand that we have to deal with the public. I understood that perfectly. Okay, but it was the way the management was so delusional about how certain people in the public were treating us. They were not treating us with respect. Okay, and I think that has to go both ways. Okay, you have to respect me, and as well as I'm respecting you. Everybody talking about the customer is always right. That's some crap. That's crap. Okay, and it's killing people too. You know, because before I retired, I did everything in my power to pull other people with me. Okay, we've done this job. We've done this public service job, which averaged between 20 and 30 years. Okay, and I said, you guys are coming out of this. You are eligible to retire. You're coming out, because a lot of people just scared and didn't think they were ready to retire. Um, so I said, no, 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 we're coming out of this. So I was able to pull a lot of people out of that. That were averaged between 20 to 30 years, working a public servant job. In this type of environment. And it felt like after COVID, it just ramped up, where everybody just was asking a lot of irrelevant questions where they could have answered it themselves, not being considerate. If I'm talking to somebody about their situation, that you don't just walk up on me and ask me how to get to Disney. It was that kind of stuff. And I blame management. Okay, I blame the city because they had these unrealistic expectations of people that are providing service. Because Florida is a service state. We all know that. Okay, let's just be real about it. But boy, I thought I was having trouble sleeping. Right, I was shocked at what was happening with some of my coworkers, where they needed anxiety medication, and all this other kind of medication just to function. Okay, my situation was sleep. I couldn't sleep sometimes, but then meditation would help, um, and especially being outdoors and blah blah blah. So I was just really really shocked, and so that, like I said, that is what caused us to bring the union in. And I just want to give thanks to that guy, because he really, really, really put a lot of effort into helping us, find something in the policies to address, how we were being mistreated by the public, over simple things. I mean, I had some major other things happening. Well, not with the public, more so with the management. Yeah, with the public thinking they can just that they're always right, which is BS and bullshit. That they're always right, that they can always drain every bit of service out of service people because they paid our taxes. They always say that stuff. Well, we're paying your taxes and all this stuff. And so I really appreciate that union guy for just helping us, to have the policies changed. And I don't blame people for, like they say, what do they say? Something about everybody's quitting, or I don't know. These buzzwords, which I'm kind of suspicious of those because they're kind of contradictory, but I ain't gonna talk about that. I'm gonna be a little calm tonight. I'm gonna be a little calm and settle down until Monday. I'll ramp it up again. No, I'm just joking. No, just carrying on. But yeah. So part of the reason, when I was living in my condo, everything was there. But it's like I had no peace, right? Because the condos started out as they were like little small villas of condos. Ouch. That it was like eight in a group, and then we had a water fountain in the center with benches. So when I first moved in there, it was fantastic. I can go out, sit on the bench, right in front of my condo, relax, and nobody would. We didn't bother each other in the beginning when I moved in there, but over the course of time, as I traveled around and came back, they started building more, cutting down all those trees that were there that I remember there. And it's like I couldn't walk in my condo without everybody wanting to ask me questions about something. And so it was just getting too much. And then the bench that I used to sit on near my house, because there was plenty of space in the community for me to walk and look at trees and relax. There was plenty of that, but it got too crowded with people running, their dogs, and they wouldn't pick up the shit from their dogs even though they're supposed to, and all this stuff. It was just getting too much. And the bench that I used to sit on this bench that was, I would walk up to the corner of of a street near my condo, and I would just sit on the bench there. It was and watch traffic, watch people, just people watching and traffic watching until homeless people started sleeping on it. That was the end of that. So it was so weird that I spent most of my time when I did go back into that condo in my condo, which is very rare for me, because I'm an outdoors person. So that's when I knew it was time to move out of there, because I wasn't going to get anything as soon as I did. I wasn't going to, because I knew I wanted a fixer-upper. Okay. And I was going to get it in, I think it was I retired 2020. I was going to purchase it in 2020, but instead I got it in 2016. And that was the best decision I made, because then what happened? We got COVID and this and that and the other. It would have been way to get this way out of my price range, right? For a fixer upper, it would have been way out of my price, the price range that I was willing to pay. Put it that way, because now everything's triple, almost, just tripling in value now. Okay, this rural area is really peaceful. It's very peaceful because I got it. I'm encased, with the, and thankfully I put the bamboos were the best investment that I made as well, because it's kind of blocking me in, because now they're building out here like crazy, cutting down trees. The wildlife have nowhere to really live. Like I have on video, there used to be this black bear hanging around. I don't know where that bear is. We had coyotes, all type of wildlife. And but yeah, no, this is extremely peaceful out here. But nothing's permanent. That's the point. Because they're building out here too. So we'll see. I feel real safe out here. I don't have any issues with safety. I have everything. I got all that covered, as far as safety and stuff like that. But this is what I needed, to recover from all of this. Felt like people just draining everything out of me, and felt like they had a right to do that. I can do it. I can ask you any kind of question. No, you know what I mean. I can act like, we're to answer to them no matter what. Okay, and they can be rude to us if they ain't like answers we were giving them, and all this stuff. So, get straight here. So, yeah, and I was surprised too. Like I would go back to sleeping. How how I was just shocked that just about everybody I talked to, I was so surprised that all these people were having trouble sleeping. People that had no reason to have trouble sleeping. They was just working these people are usually in the office, working 8 hours, if that. And they were having trouble sleeping, because they were answering phones. Ugh, couldn't do that. Couldn't do it. I did that type of work before and it almost drove me insane. Answering calls, answering calls. That's not me. Um, so, so it's just kind of crazy what everybody's going through. And, and, uh, I'm gonna be real honest. I mean, when COVID hit, um, and most people were told to stay home except us, the first responders. Okay, and to be able to go out on a major highway and there's nothing there, that was just, you know, that was that was amazing to me. I mean, I know it was tragic. Look, you have to understand all the pressure on first responders is extreme, and people wonder, why certain events happen. You know, And thankfully, I didn't have to take medication or nothing like that. The most I would take if I couldn't sleep was melatonin at one point, but then that was giving me a headache for some reason, so I stopped taking it. And just relied on meditation, and just calming myself down. And it didn't work for a while. I was still not sleeping, but I was calm about. I was calm. I wasn't to my knowledge ruminating. I could have been, but I wasn't. So so um there's a lot of stuff going on with people. Um, and I just see this. Okay, never mind. I thought I saw something in the corner over there. Like, okay, better not be no ants up in here, and that's what's going on too. With Sister Storm, all strange type of insects are just coming up. Like I said, snakes are in the backyard. There's some baby snakes back there, and I can't tell what they are, because black snakes are perfect for a yard. You need black snakes, so don't be trying to get rid of those. But this one is, I'm not sure what this is right now because they're babies, and so I'm not gonna bother them yet to see if I need to remove them or whatever, place them somewhere else. They, but yeah, it's just a lot going on with people, and I was like, wow, I was shocked, and I was so saddened, by my extended family member, but it's like, wow, what in the world? So that's why I said, be gentle with yourself. There's I mean, I know a lot of people want to get in shape. Fantastic. I know a lot of people want to find a partnership with someone. That's fantastic as well. Um, but there is a lot going on that's interfering with all of that. Where people are finding their mates, or you know, uh, getting proper sleep. Getting healthy. And so you just don't want to put too many demands on yourself, because there's a reason. There has to be a reason why it's affecting all of us. And that's why I say it's cause and effect. Cause and effect. And, like I said, people that shouldn't have no issue at all to sleep should be sleeping, but they're not. And so I was just really surprised when I would be talking to people. And, and I can understand why people are quitting. I can understand it. It's just too much. It was too much. And like I said, I was thankful to that union rep that help the remainder of the employees that are there. Because once we got that stuff in policy, I was out. I was ready. I announced a surprise um, retirement. I knew I was going to be retiring, but I kept it quiet for quite a while. That was my goal. Um, but yeah, I appreciate him helping us get resolve things that, the customer is not always right. Citizens are not always right. A citizen cannot be disrespectful to public servants just because you say you pay our taxes and all this stuff. It's just so much. So please just be gentle. I just want to stress that. Be gentle. Just calm down. As best you can. I know, I don't know how you're feeling. I don't know what you see. I don't know what you hear. Okay, but I do care about people. Okay, I do care about people. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been, sorry, I wouldn't have been doing what I have done for as long as I've done it. Um, but, a large part of it, though, unfortunately, is that people are not paying attention. These cell phones are just destroying everything. Um, and and to tell somebody to stop using their cell phones, that's like, telling people to stop smoking crack. I mean, it's become a serious addiction that you just can't say, well, won't you put your cell phone down? No, you really can't be saying that to people. You just got to be really gentle as you are attempting to help people, if that's your intention. To be telling people, you just got to be real careful about that kind of stuff, because you don't want to be triggering people by telling them what they need to do and all this stuff. Understand circumstances or the backstory as to why they're doing stuff. So it's like, wow, jeez, I don't know. It's quite disturbed, about by stuff I'm finding out after I retired. I'll go into it a little bit more later, but yeah, quite disturbed and quite disappointed, more so at that as well. Disappointed in people, lying about what they've done when when it turns out they hadn't done nothing that they had told me they had done, and now everything's coming to light, and it's like, okay, so you said that you did this and you said you did that and you had not done it, and so now, hey, money is coming out of their pockets, not mine. It ain't coming out of my pocket, because I told them, I told some of these people over 5 years ago that they had to take care of certain things, certain affairs. And they always say, well, yeah, we took care of that. Yeah, we took care of that. Oh, I said, oh, okay, cool. When they had not. They had not. So anyway, I just wanted to share some contemplation and just reflectiveness that I'm going through. Everything is actually great in my life, but I do have compassion for people and empathy. And it's just in me. I can't even turn that off if I wanted to. But I worry about people that are still remaining in public servant work, because it would be so unfortunate, right? That you put in 20 and 30 years and you don't enjoy any of your retirement because you either get sick or what happens. So just be mindful of what's going on with yourself, and understand that you'll be surprised everybody else is going through the same thing. They may not tell you unless you ask, because I ask a lot of questions of people when I pick up contradictions, pick up something that is not coming together right for me. You telling me you're fine, but it doesn't feel as though you're fine. It doesn't sound like you're fine, right? So anyway, thanks for listening. I hope everybody's doing what you want to do with the people you want to do it with, and just be gentle. Like I said, be gentle, and and realize that you are not the only one going through stuff. Now, if you want to stay in that belief that you can stay in that belief. I'm not saying that that your problems are no bigger than anybody else and no smaller. But sometimes people just like to stay in those kind of, I guess, mentalities. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And that's sometimes you have to step away because sometimes people want to just sit in some grief for a minute to recapture something, or they don't want to be happy right now. And so that's why we have to be really careful how we're communicating with people. Some people just want to stay in some grief for a minute or two. And so give them that space to be in that grief, even though it may not make sense to you. So anyway, let me go ahead and finish up around here and do some things and get something to drink and relax, and smoke some weed. No, I'm just joking. I ain't smoking no weed yet. I don't probably need to. But anyway, peace and love, everybody. Good night.